Thank you very much for joining us once again. Health Minister Kookaburra has promised that all NHIA arrears will be paid by the end of next week. Speaking at the opening of the Ministry of Health 2017 Health Summit in Kumasi, the minister indicated that government is scrutinizing the report on the fire which gutted the central medical stores, and those found culpable will be dealt with. He also announced a freeze on the recruitment of casual workers paid with internally generated funds of health facilities. Erastus Asaridonko was there, and he joins us live on the line now. Erastus, can you explain further the minister's announcement of the freeze on recruiting casual workers?
Well, he announced that all the recruitment of all casual workers in the health sector should cease, and that names of such people paid with the internally generated funds of these health facilities should be submitted to the Ministry of Health for scrutiny. And so that is what he said briefly on that particular one. He has also been promising that all NHIA arrears will be paid this week or next week. Now, let me go into that a bit before I go into the other things that have been happening at the Health Summit today. I do have with me here Dr. Yao Samuel Ano, who is the NHIA boss. Let me speak with him briefly. So, the minister is promising that the arrears will be paid this week or next week, correct?
We put out there, even through the Vice President on the 100-day submission, that we'll start payments from this weekend going with the small claims. There are a lot of claims going to the CHIPS compound, a lot of clinics, maternity units and the like, which covers large areas but in small amounts. We have big blocks where the arrears are very huge. Those ones we're hoping to start paying them probably from month end going.
How much are we talking about across the country?
We're talking about a bill of almost about 1 billion.
1 billion across the country, all health facilities.
Health facilities, contractual obligations where people have provided contracts, finished the contracts, have not been paid. Contractual obligations are about 200 million. And then health facilities and services, pharmacies and others around almost about 800 million.
Now, the question on people's minds is, are we going to review the current capitation program, or are we going to go back to GDRG where people work and then you pay them up later?
The capitation grant for us is the most cost-effective way of dealing with our health situation as of now. We'll review what goes into it and what is not covered with the people associated with it, with interested parties, but we will still run with the capitation and run it a bit more efficiently than it's running now.
Just before you go, we are talking about the total number of people who are paying premium, about 28% thereabout. Over 70% are those exempted from paying by law. How are we going to go forward with this, trying to maintain the scheme?
Yes, bottom line, reviewing the scheme over the past 5-8 years is that the current model is not sustainable. As you have observed, majority of the people on the scheme are either indigents, pensioners above 70, pregnant women, or children under 18, all of whom are by law exempt from paying anything, which means that the smaller percentage who are supposed to hold this huge number will have to reap an income which will be enough to sustain the scheme. At the moment, it is not doing so. That is why our debit year after year keeps rising. Well, granted, there's a lot of fraud also going on that we are busy trying to investigate, both on the service provider side, intra-house, within the NHI staff and itself. So there are so many issues that we'll try to unravel within the next 3-4 months. And once we unravel all this, we'll come clean to the nation about what exactly is happening in NHIS and our proposals moving forward as to cure this debt once and for all.
Thank you very much. And you heard Dr. Yao Samuel. I know he's in charge of the NHIA. Now, what we have also been hearing from the health minister is about the central medical stores. You remember the fire that ravaged that particular facility. Now, he has been talking that there is currently a scrutiny of the findings of that fire outbreak. He's saying that they are looking at it, and those who are found culpable will be made to face the full rigors of the law. So from this summit, the 2017 16 summit of the Ministry of Health, we are having some information coming in here. We do know that the prevalence rate for HIV dropped by 12.3%. We are also knowing that the we'll get those details later, but then it's scattered. We'll get a full video report for our viewers later.
Indeed, Erastus, but you just mentioned about the ministry studying the report on the stores that got burnt. Did he indicate when probably the report will be publicized?
Well, he has not given timelines to that, but he's saying that they are studying the report, the fire report, and indeed those found culpable will be dealt with. That is what he said, but he did not go further to give details as to timelines when it will be done. But he's saying that they are scrutinizing it, and when they come out, those found culpable will be dealt with. There are also plans to revamp the area, to restructure it, bring it up again, this time around with a new approach, so that we will not have what we witnessed during last year again.
And Erastus, before you go in very briefly, I know you've spoken about what has been discussed so far at the summit, but can you tell us just a little more about the purpose, the real purpose for this particular summit?
Well, it's a gathering of stakeholders in the health sector. It's also brought together people who are giving aid in terms of the health sector to Ghana as well. They are all here, and we're taking a review of the health situation of the country at the moment, all the health sectors. So for now, we have the annual health sector performance review going on, a presentation on that one, how we fared in the health sector going on. So it's a gathering of health experts. I have seen many of the CEOs of the various health facilities across the regions here, and some donor representatives as well. So it's just putting into perspective how Ghana fared with regards to our health sector.
Thank you very much. Erastus Osaredonko is with Love FM in Kumasi. Back to Accra, where the police in the region has paraded some men they picked up at Agbogbloshie on Tuesday wielding weapons. 2 people were killed and several others injured in a clash between Kokumbes and Dagombes at the slum in Accra. The police say Imoro Abdul and Kweku Amankwa, who were caught with 500 rounds of ammunition, will assist with investigations.
Within the community, that is Agbogbloshie, yesterday, on the 18th of April 2017, at about 2:30 p.m., the police on duty at Agbogbloshie, acting upon intelligence and with assistance from a member of the public, arrested 2 suspects by names Imoro Abdul Rahab, who is 25 years, and he says he's a scrap dealer. Then the second person is Kweku Amankwa, who is also 58 years, and he says he's a registered arm dealer, for possessing 500 rounds of ammunition. The police retrieved specifically 250 rounds of BB cartridges and 250 rounds of AA cartridges, summing up to the 500 pieces of cartridges in all. For now, the intent for possessing the ammunition is still yet unknown, and it is still under thorough investigations. Meanwhile, during police interrogation, suspect Imoro Abdul Rahab led the police to the second suspect, whose name has been given as Kweku Amankwa at Arena, Accra, who allegedly sold the ammunition to him at a value of 1,000 Ghana cedis. Both suspects are being detained for investigations and shall soon be arraigned before court when our investigations and the intent has been established. The police wishes to hereby advise the public not to take advantage of the last week's disturbances and transact business in illegal arms within the community, whether ammunition or implements likely to disturb the peace, as the police will not hesitate to arrest and prosecute any such persons to face the full rigors of the law. In a related development, the 2 suspects who were arrested in last week's disturbances in Agbogbloshie for possessing locally manufactured pistols and some rounds of ammunition are also before court as we speak. Their names are Yakubu Suleimana, who is 34 years, and his profession is a scrap dealer. Then Al-Hassan Zakaria, also 19 years, whose profession is also a scrap dealer. Similarly, those who suffered injuries and were receiving treatment from the hospital, including the pregnant woman, are in stable condition, with 4 of them being discharged from the hospital. And we still call for more information, and anybody with any piece of useful information can be channeled through the police through our hotlines 0299 206 800. I say that again, 0299 206 800 and 0244 682 740. 0244 682 740. Thank you very much.
Now, there were some arrests made on the following days after the incident. What are the status of those 5 arrests?
In all, the police arrested...
And of course, we'll bring you more in our subsequent bulletins, but we know that some women traders at Agbogbloshie market say they are uncomfortable resuming business following last week's violent clash that left 2 people dead there. When Joy News visited the market Tuesday, they pointed to stores they said remained closed because their owners had been threatened by a rival faction in the clash, and said until the issue was thoroughly resolved, they feel unsafe doing business. Hano Dame has the rest of the story.
Today I'm back here not to talk about the clashes, but to find out the impact that this particular misunderstanding had, particularly on mothers, and how they are picking up after the incident. I don't know somebody say now.
Okay, the way I'm trying now almost to 2 boy into me, Miss Shamed, and I'm trying to share, baby. It's in the course of the man. Me pia na medua ne me niema nyina as I say. I feel na makọ disca o Mrs. Tabiwa me dey start kakra.
So what Auntie Memuna is saying is that the day of the incident, she was in the room, so she did not see actually what happened. But by the time she came out, everything she sells was destroyed. The drinks were stolen. The glass in which she sells her foodstuffs got broken, and the pieces were in the stew, so she couldn't even use it anymore. Her appeal is that this particular issue does not happen here anymore because it has really affected her business. She has to go for a loan to be able to start all over again.
See, and I said me who say banana me jani
Which are only man ho?
me jani jamini me nyina ho.
Na obeto ni amane back.
Ni amane dia mabeto ba me shop ni dia o ma say ni nyina.
Say na ya say.
O ma bubu nua me dia ho nyina, o ma bubu ho nyina.
Sa piece abaha.
Ho nyina me ho kokko mi sro.
Adentia.
No pay I say encrophobia group bebre abegyina yanim ho no mo omo gusu ka sa bia ye nso yente enti mi hu ni sa no said ya mi hu first ni nti ama sura sa be she mi mu.
Auntie Beatrice is also saying that she's a seamstress, and on the day of the incident she saw exactly what happened. Some people were being stabbed, and so she's very, very, very fearful. You can even actually hear it in her voice as she speaks. She's so fearful that she cannot even go to her shop any longer. According to her, nothing was stolen in the shop, but the kiosk in which she sits in was broken, and so she has to repair it, which is another cost to her business. But Naomi is here. She's not happy because she went to her shop. Apparently, when the issue happened some days ago, her shop was destroyed. So she went there this morning to at least fix the lock and the doors. But according to her, some gentleman came there and told her to stop because he doesn't see the need why she should repair it. And then he went for reinforcement. Other gentlemen joined him and they came and they've taken over her shop. And so she has quickly run to her office to find out if her chairman and the other executives can help her.
Because of the crashes, a lot of things has gone down. These are the export promotion yams. We send them to supply. We supply to our customers at various points. But because of the fight, in fact, things has gone down. The farmers are not willing to bring their yams to risk their life, and therefore the market has lost a lot of things during the few weeks after crashes. So we are really in trouble these days.
Meanwhile, the leadership of the market has been registering some residents and traders who are being evicted. Chairman of the Kookaburra Market Association, Noel Hassan, tells Joy News the data will be sent to the IGP for further action to be taken.
The people we have an injury up to now, some people have they are locking their room, they are destroying some people's property. So those people, they are calling there to come and write your name to know what happened, who is doing this to you. That's what I've been doing right now.
So after that, what will you do with the data that you collect?
Yeah, the data we have collect, I'm prepared to meet, if you can meet IGP, to give evidence we have about what happened, incident happened in the back there.
Now let's go back to the Accra Regional Press Conference, police press conference being held at the regional office where the PRO, Fiatenge, is addressing the media. In the some live feed from the Accra Region Police here, where some of the suspects involved in the Agbogbloshie crash that led some people dead and some others injured, they are being paraded right now. You've seen two of them and then a police officer standing by them. You're still watching Joy News today on Joy News. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly. But before that, imagine your home being attacked. You try the police emergency numbers, you scream for help from your neighbors, but no one comes to your aid. And then the robbers break in, hold you at gunpoint, and run away with your money and another vehicle. That's the story of a female lecturer at the University of Ghana. Maxwell Agbogbloshie spoke to her earlier.
Apparently it was one person I saw, but I did not see the face of a person, just the back, and also the weapon the person was carrying. It was a rifle, not a pistol, but a rifle. Standing right in front of the door. And I could hear other voices that indicated that wasn't one person. Not too long ago, when I heard they trying to break through, bang several times. So I started trying to make a few calls, the emergency numbers that are stored on my phone. Apparently, I can't remember the numbers, but their numbers just stored. So I just did a search, police emergency, and then tried two numbers. They went through, but there was no response. Yes, when they go to the room, they went to the kitchen, they broke the kitchen door. Apparently, we always lock all the doors, so they broke the kitchen door, went there. And then from the hall to where the bedrooms are, there are also doors there. And each night we lock each of them. So they broke through that also using cement blocks. And then when they came, they were numbered about 4. Two came to my room. And again, with cement blocks, a few minutes, about 5 minutes. We hear at least about 4, 5 of the sound, bang, bang, about 4 times, and the door opened.
Wow. So tell me, what did they take from the room? What did they steal from you?
From my room, they requested for money. I gave them. They took my mobile phones.
How much did they take from?
The exact amount I'm not able to tell, but I know it's more than 2,000. It's ranging between 2,000 and 2,005 in that range. And then they requested for my jewelry, so I just gave them the box, and they were asking me which ones were gold. I just said they should collect everything. So they just collected everything to their pockets. They took my digital camera, my laptop, and some few other items in my room. And in the hall, they took my flat screen television, 41-inch, and some other few items. They went to my kitchen, opened my freezer, also my hall. There were some food items. They also took it.
They took the food items also?
Yes, at least some was a sauce I had prepared for the Easter.
They took it?
They took it.
Wow. Tell me, they came outside after that thing happened inside. They came outside and then there was a Toyota Fortuner?
No, when they came out, it was a RAV4, Toyota RAV4.
Okay.
Which they demanded the key when they were in my room. I gave the key to them. So they had packed the items into the car, opened the main gate, and they were trying to spark the car. For a few minutes, the car couldn't spark.
Wow.
So they came back and demanded for more money. And I told them that was all I had. I poured the contents of the bag from which I normally put my money. They were still not satisfied. So I told them, well, for the truth, that's all I have. But then I told them there was no pressure on them. So they should just take their time, search all the bags. And if they find the money, they should take it. So we started searching. They opened the drawers, poured the contents on the floor, opened the bag, started throwing things. I mean, right away, just clothes and documents. So whilst two was doing that, but apparently they had tied my mouth, tied my hands behind, and tied my legs using my bedsheet. When they entered, they took my bedsheet and they tore it into pieces and used it to tie me.
Wow.
So while this was ongoing, one person had entered also my mother-in-law's room, subjected them to a few beatings and tied her also up. One was then in the hall trying to get more items because it's like they couldn't spark the Toyota RAV4. So apparently when the person came to the hall, spotted another door, and that was a door from the hall to the garage. Unfortunately for me, but well, I knew they could have still broken where there was a key on it. There was a key inside, so he just opened it. And there he saw another car, which is a Toyota Fortuner. So he just shouted, "Hey, there's another car in the garage." So quickly they demanded for the key.
He spoke English? Or?
He spoke English.
Wow.
So with my hand behind tied, my mouth tied, and my legs, he raised me because my face was downwards. And he said, "Where is the key?" So I told them, well, that car is for my husband and he's not around. And apparently he left the key with a friend. They didn't believe it. So they said, if you don't do this, they started beating me, hitting me. So one said, "Charlie, make you finish up, let's go." And then he clocked the gun. So the third person ran and pushed them, shouting, "Are you crazy? Are you crazy? We didn't come here to kill anyone." And for a few seconds, there was some misunderstanding between them.
Wow. So tell me, the Toyota Fortuner, what happened to it? They packed all your belongings into the Toyota Fortuner?
They packed all my belongings into the Toyota Fortuner, pushed the RAV4 outside into the bush somewhere. I mean, just in front of the house.
Wait. All this happened beyond this compound. They pushed the RAV4 outside the compound. Outside the compound,
because until you move the RAV4, you wouldn't be able to bring out the Toyota Fortuner. The RAV4 is normally parked right in front of the garage.
So they pushed it outside?
They pushed it outside.
And then they brought out the Toyota Fortuner?
Yes.
And then what happened next? They had packed your belongings into the Toyota Fortuner?
So when they brought it out, they then transferred the items into the Toyota Fortuner and drove off.
They drove off. And all this happened within a space of how many?
About 70 to 75 minutes.
More than 1 hour?
Yes.
Quite a heartbreaking story there. And many young people in Ghana's western region are still looking forward to jobs promised by the NPP government, especially in the oil and gas sector. As the Vice President answered questions at Monday's town hall meeting, my colleague Justice Baidu spent time watching him with some young people in Tecate, the regional capital from where he has sent in this report.
Life in the busy markets of Tecate. This is Market Circle, the iconic central business district of the Western Regional Capital that has been a symbol of commerce for years. But the bustling Tecate of old is fast changing since the find of oil.
What's a oil city? No, my Naka water quite a because one fat meant a man, one for him, one for young This
is the beating heart of Ghana's oil and gas industry. And after 6 years of exploration, many here say they are still yet to feel a trickle down of oil money. People here are still looking forward to change in the local economy, not least because this region holds a chunk of the country's natural resource reserve. Tecate has been a traditional stronghold of the NPP, and in the last election, the party had one of its best performances yet in this region, doubling its number of parliamentary seats from 8 in 2012 to 16. So on a day when the party that promised change for more jobs was to give an account of its rule in 100 days, many were upbeat.
Join us in welcoming the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoudou Bawumia.
I've come to one of the points where people have gathered to watch Dr. Bawumia speak. One of the people I've met here is Park Kumsin, a health and safety engineer with a master's degree, still hoping to land a job 2 years after school. And Paul, who already has a job doing community advocacy in areas affected by oil and gas exploration.
How does it make you feel that you didn't really get any clear commitment from the government after 100 days from this address?
It's sad. It's sad because even though I'm speaking, I believe I'm speaking for a million or thousands of youth. When you listen to such talks or presentations, it seems to inspire you. But that, as I said, the reality on the ground, this youth initiative, entrepreneurship initiative that the Vice President was talking about. This thing has been there a very long time. How many people in this Kota district have benefited from this initiative? Who and who even knows? So if I want to, if I'm an entrepreneur, I want to even start something on my own. Where do I go? And what is the process? Who do I see? And what is the assurance or probability that I will even I will benefit from it? A lot of people don't even know. So I see the talk being too much than the practical things. So I think in general, the youth in this area, I can tell you, I can confidently tell you that a lot of them are really disappointed.
If I am to assess him personally, I would say that he has done well, because most of the things he has said gives hope to the Ghanaian people that the NPP has the political will, maybe to solve some of the issues affecting this country. The government has a lot to do to ensure that people who are affected by oil and gas will have that feel that they are not cheated, so that what happened in Nigeria probably will not happen here in Ghana. But as to whether this is actually reflecting within these 100 days, if all Ghanaians are having a practical feel of change in the economy as they all voted. That one is left for the individual to decide.
So basically, one district, one factory, and one village, one town. We have one day, one achievement.
It may be early days yet, but if the responses I've gathered here are anything to go by, then this NPP government has a lot of expectations to meet. People, including those here in Tecate, are counting down what their verdict would be after the 4 years. Only time will tell. Justice Pedu, Joy News, Tecate.
Get fertilizers at half the price that they were at last year, and we expect this to help this program of.
Still ahead in this bulletin on Joy News, we'll bring you some news on the bond issue by government and the controversy surrounding it. Stay with us.